Trump is going to be a dictator on day one. He is, and you're not going to get to vote after he's elected. He said so. He also called Nazis very fine people. He lied about people eating cats and dogs in Ohio. What else? What else has he lied about? Well, that'll do to start, won't it? Well, listen. All of those talking points I've addressed in comment sections, and I don't even know where to go anymore because people are so low information. They will not go past that first page of Google results. I was responding to a comment that said something about you won't need to vote again. Trump's going to be a dictator. And I tried to find the original context so I could be as accurate as possible with those discussions. Sorry, I'm sweating like crazy. I just ran 3 miles. But I couldn't find them. They were buried on Google. It took me 10 minutes to go and find those things of just following down the rabbit hole because it's been buried so well. But let me just tell you, I'm gonna go through these real quick. Trump saying he was gonna be a dictator on day one had to do with him immediately launching an order to drill for oil and close the border. It was a facetious statement. It was a sarcastic comment, not meant to be taken seriously, but it was, and it was turned into hysteria. The second one, you're not gonna need to vote again. It was a reference to the fact Trump was trying to appeal to evangelicals, telling them the country's going to be so good, nobody's going to need to vote again. It was, once again, lighthearted, facetious comment. The very fine people, I don't even know if I have to say anything about that. That's been debunked so many times. All you have to do is watch that video in its context. But just for the hell of it, I went to go see if I could find it. If you Google Trump very fine people hoax, all you get is a crap ton of articles about how Trump said that Nazis are fine people. You go in there and you click their reference, then it'll say Trump said such and such, referring to the Nazis or referring to the protesters as very fine people, but said in such a way that it sounds like he said Nazis are very fine people. You go watch the video. Oh, he never said anything like that. He said that the Nazis and white supremacists should be entirely disavowed. Well, how about that? Somebody decided that they were going to twist his words. I wonder how that happened. This has got me riled up because people are not willing to do any research. And by that, I mean, I bet you most people Google. I bet they do. When they see a claim, I bet that people Google it. I bet they say, oh, Trump said Nazis are very fine people. Let me type that in. And what do they get? Well, they get confirmation bias. They get confirmation bias. And instead of doing their research, they see the headline that says Trump reversed blah, 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 blah. They take that headline and run with it. Where what they should do is open the article, read it, read the sources, and then go watch the video. That's a lot of work, isn't it? Well, this is why I don't listen to political commentators on more than a surface level basis, whether it's MSNBC, CNN, Fox News. I hate Fox News, by the way. I don't like Tim Pool. I don't like Steven Crowder. I dislike Ben Shapiro. I am to the left of them and to the right of most of these other news sources. But what I do is I listen to all of them at once. I'm an independent. I have always identified myself as a classical liberal, and that hasn't changed. The problem is the Democrats moved away from me. The Republicans moved toward me. And that scares the hell out of me. I don't identify as a Republican or a Democrat. Now, I'm going to address something else here, too. I don't think Trump is going to be the magic, win-it-all card. If you're a Trump voter and you think he's going to be the God Emperor and ride in on a silver stallion and save everybody, you're out of your mind. Trump added more to the deficit than anybody, I believe. The economy under Trump was pretty good. Like for the day-to-day. Long-term, I think Trump slows down the economic crash that's inevitable by not starting new wars, by not sending crap tons of money to Ukraine, by not allowing gazillions of illegal migrants into the country. But I don't think he stops it. The petrodollar is done. BRICS is going to crash our economy eventually. When it takes hold, the US dollar is going to continue to lose its value. Be aware of that. Now, the last thing, the eating cats and dogs. I'm sorry. Now I've got a video of people grilling cats in Ohio. That is a thing. Don't tell me those are chickens. I've seen the articles. I've seen the video. It's from a year ago. No one had any reason to lie about it. Just, here's the thing. Since you're going to vote, and I'm sure most of you are, and those of us that are independents, reluctantly so, Do your own research. Don't see a headline and listen to it. And I'm talking to everybody. I know people that will hear Tim Pool say something and they take it as God's honest truth. If you go back far enough on my channel, you'll see that I despise and always have despised Tim Pool ever since the whole Jack Murphy thing. And I have made a lot of videos very critical of the right, very critical of Trump, very critical of the left, which is why it astounds me that when I say that I'm going to vote Donald Trump, I get told, you need to do your research. And I get lectured by some person who's going to vote the other way, thinking that I don't know what I'm talking about. I do. And you telling me that Trump's going to be a dictator on day one, don't come at me like I don't know what I'm talking about when you're going to spout some nonsense like that. How about that? How about that? How about you research your own claims instead of going and posting willy-nilly on the internet because you saw Hakeem Jeffries say it on X? That's another thing. These people are so in their echo chambers. Oh my God, right and left. I don't follow very many people on X. The people I do follow, I know personally for the most part. I don't think I follow anybody that I don't know personally. My feed on X is far more left than right because I already know what the right is saying. Their voices are loud. I see feed from them, but I also want to see what's going on with the people on the left, with, you know, the Kamala campaign. I go read comments, I go follow links, I go down rabbit holes. If you're going to get into arguments with people on the internet, which you probably shouldn't do, and I'm starting to calm down a little bit, my endorphins were raging from that run. It was a great run. And I got to lift weights too. It was great. But if you're going to go argue with people on the internet, like, please use sources. Please check your facts, for the love of God. I don't know. I don't know where to go from this. This is why this country's so divided. This is why it's so hard to talk as someone on the right or someone on the left to anyone who's on the other side. Whenever you see like Trump supporters versus Harris supporters, it's usually just this person's an evil dictator. It's like, you don't understand anything about the actual issues. What you're doing is, you know, going off of headlines and zingers and, you know, smart little jokes that people have made, memes. You're not understanding what's going on. And that goes for people on both sides. Not everybody, of course, not everybody, but people on both sides are just, they're low information. When I was in grad school, one of my professors told me, for anything that, any position you hold, I'm going to hold you accountable for 5 whys. If you can't answer 5 whys deep on any position, you don't know enough about it. So think about that. Think about any political position that you hold and think about 5 whys. If you can't get that far behind it, you probably ought to read some more about it. That doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means that there's more information out there that you're missing. Now, 5 is obviously an arbitrary number, but you understand what I'm saying. And one of those issues that really just grinds my gears is the war in Ukraine. Ask 5 whys about the war in Ukraine, why we're involved in that. Honestly, that's one of my biggest reasons to vote Trump. I made a video yesterday about the only reason you need to vote Trump. It was a little ironic. It was just grocery prices. I understand that Trump isn't a magician that's going to just flip the economy on its ear, but prices were better under Trump, and that is indisputable. Inflation is worse under Biden, and it will continue to be under Harris. That's the basis of it. But the war in Ukraine, to me, is one of the biggest things, the biggest reasons to vote for Donald Trump. I have such a hard time saying that. I do not like Donald Trump, but the war in Ukraine, the fact that he has spoken out against it and is willing to try to end it, that's a huge deal to me. We need to not be meddling in this war. This is not for us to do. We need to get out of wars. The fact that we have 3,400 active duty military in war zones right now is a travesty. We need to get our people back. I've got a lot of brothers, a couple of them in the military. I worry about them with the Harris presidency. I do. I think that we're on track to get much more involved in Russia. They're calling for us to be fully involved in the Ukraine war to get Russia out. They're going to continue to push for more and more war because guess what? Right and left neocon war hawks have been doing that since Bush. Well, since before Bush, of course, for a long time, I'll say. But I can remember Bush. I can remember Obama. I can remember Trump being the one president that didn't start any new wars, and oh my God, they tried to kill him. It's because it's a machine. I know there's the term establishment war machine out there, and it sounds really cringe to me, but it's true. Anyway, that's about enough ranting. I've covered about a bazillion subjects there, so I'll just leave that there. See ya.